now we will move on to Toast. Toast, what do you have for us?
You forgot to answer the most important question, Spire.
What?
How strong is the pig boy?
He is literally just like a regular, or I think he's even just like yeah, he's like a regular sized pig. That is literally he has no
Look,
superpowers other than it just being a regular pig.
can he beat Silver Crow in a fight? He's also a pig, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. that's such a that's such a fucked up reference, man.
I'm
Unfortunately,
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
think
think
he
of
can.
other pigs in anime.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
won't off
yeah,
the top
yeah.
of my
You're
head.
right though. I don't think he could beat Silver Crow. I think that's a little bit of a long shot. But yeah. Anyways,
What about what's his name? What's that guy's name? Uh,
you're about to pit this pig against the parents of Spirited Away who have turned
Oolong.
pigs. What?
Can he beat Oolong?
I don't, I don't think so. He is a very, very regular pig. So,
You
anyways,
remember who Oolong is, right?
uh,
From Dragon Ball.
yeah. Anyways, Toast, your series, please.
My series, not great.
Huck.
Not,
Shouldn't
it's
you have
not.
just gone with S Ring Adventurer? S Ring Daughter, sorry.
No, I
No,
wanted to get this out of the way. For
you had to cover MF Ghost or Overtake.
Yeah, I did MF Ghost.
Yeah, okay.
And if you don't know what MF Ghost is, it's the sequel to Initial D. And
Yes, sir.
while Initial D was fantastic, MF Ghost is not it, Chief. It's
Well,
not it.
is is it well? Okay, let's start with. Can we just go over the audio visuals at least first a little bit?
Uh, oh, that's a weird way to start, but okay. I mean, audio. I guess the cars sound like cars. What do you want me to say? I believe the sound effects for each car is correct,
Is the
as it
OST
will
good?
be. I mean, it's got Eurobeat. Not all the driving is in Eurobeat though. I believe they brought back Move for some of this. And if you know Move, they're the big Initial D boys.
Okay.
Because the opening is Jungle Fire, sung by Move and Yu Serizawa. I don't know who Yu Serizawa is. She sounds important.
Yeah, very, very just like random person that nobody else mentioned in
Yeah,
this
but
podcast.
she voices a character that appears in the anime. So I guess two for the price of one.
Nice. Um,
Jungle Fire is pretty
so
good.
for your mention of like the Eurobeat OST and whatever stuff like, I'm guessing that this series is, or at least this anime adaptation, excuse me, not even the series. This adaptation is meant to mainly appease the initial D or people who had read MF Ghost before and just catered to them instead of kind of trying to interpret MF Ghost in a way that would
Everyone knows that
make.
Initial D was the most important part of or that Eurobeat was the most important part to Initial D, and they brought it back for this. So
Mhm.
good on them, I guess. That's the vision. So when it's got Eurobeat, it's fine. I think. Sure. I don't know. Not a lot
What are
has
the
happened
others? Is it
in the
like
Force.
jazz or something?
Regular. It's
Hmm?
regular. It's not like
No, it's
what
just
is it?
okay.
It's not like Initial D Legend where I don't know what genre of music that was, but it was in Eurobeat, Chief. It looked good, but didn't sound good. But yeah, that's the audio. The visuals, uh, what to say about the visuals? Kinda looks like the manga. And if you know what I'm talking about, the manga's if you're not talking the cars, the character portraits are kind of whack. And that's in a light way to put it. the author definitely has a unique style, and it's kind of portrayed in the anime. So do what you want with that. Oh, another thing I noticed that is this apparently I checked this out. This is also prevalent in the manga, mainly because the author is not exactly in good health.
Hmm.
But when they have some shots of real life images of real life areas in the apparently in both the anime and the manga, kind of looks like they just took a screenshot and added some filters to it. Cause it's definitely jarring, and it's like, hold
They
on,
probably did.
Is yeah,
it's hyper
is this like a
realistic.
smaller team? This is probably a smaller team too, right?
What for the manga or the anime?
The
Because
anime.
I can't blame the anime for that because apparently this is a thing in the manga, so they just lifted it off of like what
Oh,
Google
really?
Images, and it's like, okay, here it is, and I'm like, because when they were visiting some like shrines, there were some shots of I believe they were oni, and that they looked too hyper realistic to be hand drawn. So it's like, hmm, yeah, just you just dolled up some screenshots, huh? But yeah, I guess that's a negative if you want to put it that way. Me, I don't really care because it's not about the background. It's about the racing, right? So getting all
So
that aside,
how much did you expect, or how much did you want
I
in terms of just like the racing stuff going on in
all right. So
MF
let me
Ghost
go into
before the
this.
run?
MF Ghost was announced what several years ago. How long has
Hmm.
MF Ghost been out? And I was not sold on the initial summary of it.
Hmm.
And you know what? I was right. Because initial D, this is not. But we should go back to what the we should go back to what MF Ghost is. Initial D, the whole thing was about a bunch of street rats doing street racing, illegal street racing at night. To become the fastest in is the Kanto region, whatever the fastest street racers in Japan or something or in one area something like that. And the Project D, you know what the D in Project D stood for, right?
Wait,
Drift.
what was it?
No,
Oh, gee.
stood for Project Dream. I still don't know what Project Dream stands for. It was supposed to like uncover like young talented drivers and make them super cool. Yes,
Hmm.
something like that. And what apparently MF Ghost is it's the next step of Project Dream, but it's not it's not straight racing anymore. It's now certified competitive racing, apparently.
So like, other than the standard, the sort of lore changes, right, between Initial D and now, have you noticed any other sort of modern era retro, like fitting kind of writing in MF Ghost?
Well, you like drones, Fire? You
Oh,
like
right, the drone stuff that was in the PV
drones
as
in here
well.
because apparently they're going eco-friendly now. Because
What?
because this is what
What?
internal combustion cars. Who cares about that anymore? You have to be eco-friendly. No more
What's
street.
eco what's eco-friendly
I
about
don't
Wait,
drones?
I don't know and battery powered man. And I don't know anything about cars, but
so
apparently
are they driving electric cars?
I believe they are. I don't know anything about cars, so someone's gonna someone later on can fill me in. But the whole thing started about we got to reduce the emissions and whatnot, and I guess that's part of it. Sure, but anyway, the whole thing about MFG, which I guess the G stands for ghost because it's in the title. So
Yeah, I've always wondered why is it named MF Ghost?
Why is it called Project D? But yeah, so
So what does MF stand for?
I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
It's
Most
it just
good,
Most
it's just
fastest.
most fast ghost. Yeah. Anyway, so it started if you remember, it started by Takashi Ryo, who famous Takahashi brothers, and the founder of Project D. So this is his next project, and it's not Project D at all. It's like this competitive race thing. The
yeah.
big difference is that instead of driving at night, they're driving during the day as like official sanctioned tournament things and whatnot. So that's a point off from me. Apparently, there was an eruption on Mount Fuji, so now there's sulfuric gas like
Okay.
dotting
What?
dotting the
It's like the
town.
Pokeball, like legendary
You know,
Pokeball
I
catcher
have
kind
no
of
idea.
thing.
It's eco-friendly, so there's a
No.
part of the proceeds go from MF Ghost go to people hit by the Mount Fuji eruption. What? I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
But yeah, that has nothing to do with it. If you remember like how Project D went, right? It's hey, we're street racers. We're gonna challenge your team, and we're gonna set the fastest course on each of these areas, right? Usually, there's a uphill and a downhill driver, and the goal is to beat them and set a time that none of them can beat, right? That was the whole thing of Project of Initial D. But this one is more of a time attack race. So like this, the first four episodes is a qualifying round of a time attack of one race, one racetrack. So like out of 300 racers, the top 15, the top 15 will go to the actual race and whatnot.
So it's not
And
even an actual race.
this is the qualifiers. Like the actual race started at the end of episode 4, which is currently the latest episode.
Right.
But yeah, so to ensure fairness of all the races, because there's only like one main rule for like any car that enters. You have to it's like you have to have this certain specific weight to tire grip ratio or something, like an even balance on your car. But other than that, it has to be like this preset this like preset number. Like all the cars has to be tuned to this specific like balance. But other than that, anything is fair game. So like you can use any car you want. So I'm also gonna dock a point for that because Initial D was the whole thing about hey, it's all about the JDM, the Japanese domestic market, right? So we're gonna showcase all these cool Japanese cars. And like we're gonna throw in a Supra and a GT every now and then. But in this one it's like apparently the top racers all use European like supercars. So the the main character, what's his name? What is that guy's name? Kanata Katagiri. He's using an old GT 86 because get it 86. It's a Hachiroku,
Uh-huh.
so because you have to do it, and apparently it's a crappy ass car, right?
Hmm.
But the whole thing about Initial D was, hey, here's this Toyota Troino, and it's gonna beat all the supercars because Takumi is a gifted downhill specialist, and he knows how to beat someone in a race. But for MF Ghost, you have to do both an uphill and a downhill, so it's like, where's the point in using an old ass GT 86? Apparently for the time period, If you have to do both uphill and a downhill, where is the specialization? Where's the how can Kanata beat someone like all these fancy new European sports cars into that clunky old thing? It doesn't really
He
make
just
sense to me.
drives, man.
Well, I mean, there would you have to. I mean, Takumi could make up for it with his driving skill, but in this one, I don't really see how Kanata. We haven't seen how Kanata's driving skill really did anything. The only worthwhile thing he did in his qualifying race was he did well, it's not really a spoiler. Is it a spoiler? I don't care. He did Takumi's famous four-wheel drift because spoiler alert, he's the student of Takumi who's become a legendary racer over in England. So he taught Kanata how to drift, but that's like the one thing he did. It's not even that cool. With Takumi and Initial D, every he had he did some cool moves like in episode 1. Everyone knows the what is it, the inertia drift. That's the famous one. And the gutter drift. So far Kanata hasn't done any of that, but I can also attribute that to a majority of episodes of one episode like 1 and 2
Mhm.
was just his time attack, and it's kind of boring. It's it was kind of boring because it's just him doing a time attack. He wasn't racing anyone, so it's just his car going down, just like racing this track. And the whole cool thing about Initial D was it was the races were personal because they were one on one with the rival team in a dogfight. And so far, this one doesn't have that because it's a time attack. So he's racing alone. He has to reach this qualifier, get to the top 15 in order to get to the real race. And I made a joke like a couple of days ago when I was watching this. I was like, "Is this why they call this MF Ghost?" Because you know, in racing games when you're racing by yourself, the only person that you race against is like the ghost AI, right? Like in Mario Kart, you race your ghost in order to get faster times. So
Yeah.
he's racing ghost cars, and they even mention that during like the last stretch of the qualifying race. It's like, oh, he's gotta beat these other cars, and like, no, your crappy GT86 doesn't have good power, so all the other cars will make up for it here. And then they show like the ghosts of other racers like hot on his tracks, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's why it's called MF Ghost. So yeah,
Yeah, but that sounds like probably one of the worst ideas for a fucking racing series. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know, man. Like time attacks, like
I
ghosts
mean,
fucking attack. Like,
I feel like the only way you could make that interesting, right, is if you went really deep into like the car autism, right?
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know how it
Initial
could be.
D's always had that, but like
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the entire race isn't even about like a race at that point, right? It's about just like, look at this car,
Talking
look at
about
how fast it
cars.
goes. Like, look at
Yeah,
like
here's
talking about
why.
It's
how many
Hot Wheels.
fucking
It's Hot Wheels.
how many cylinders it has and how the grip,
The rims.
wheel fucking how the tires like grip the fucking road or whatever, and how well the chassis handles turning at a steep like fucking angle or whatever. Like it just like sheer like as autistic as you can possibly be, right? Because otherwise,
You're a nerd. Yeah.
he's not racing anybody, right? He's literally just going fast. And I don't really know how interesting to make that. Like I get that there's the race uh later on, but the fact that you're 4 episodes into this series, this racing series, and there hasn't been a real race, I think is not a good sign at all, right? Like,
I mean, I think that's a fault of the design of the qualifier, because they're all like, oh, they made a big deal about, oh, there's gonna be like 300 racers and only the top 15 get to qualify. And so, like, okay, here's 300, here's a time attack, but then when we get to the actual race, it's just 15 of them, because I guess that makes sense. You don't want like 300 cars going up against each other. It's not good. But yeah, I mean, you talked about car autism, right? Well, they have, if they're gonna throw in like 15 racers at the start, like just at the start of the actual race, it's kind of it doesn't really give them that much time to shine unless they're like a supercar fanatic. Because in Initial D, it was one on one or 2v2 if you want to throw in a Takashi Keisuke in there because he does the uphill. So you get to learn about both, like the RX-7, the Trueno, and then the rival team's two cars. So you get to learn about them more personally. But in this one, you got 15 other racers right off the bat, and you have to learn about them. So there's not much of a connection that you feel between all that. Because I can list off the other rival teams, the Night Kids. Hell yeah, was it Nakazato and his, what is it? Is his GTR? No, his R32. Wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was his Nissan Skyline GTR, and then oh, what is it? Drifting is for kids. I'm just gonna power through, and then dumbass double crash guy, also from Night Kids, and his gum tape deathmatch. So there won't be any of that in this series, I can tell,
Yeah, that's the one really good thing.
because you have to drive cleanly, because you have the only rule is that the power to weight ratio is standardized on everyone, but also like the conditions of each race.
Right, that's gonna be a
The
pain.
conditions of each race is really specific. So you have to showcase your driving skills and your car, but like some cars are way more powerful than the others of because you only set this one rule, and you try to even the playing field by, oh, we're only gonna race during sunny days. When it's raining, nope, no car will get this advantage. And I'm like,
Kind
that's
of
not
lame.
very cool. It is pretty lame, because remember one of the races, Initial D, where was it the cappuccino race, and then at the when when it was raining, they're like, oh, I want to beat the 8-6 downhill, because I'm a what is it? I'm a rain specialist because of the cappuccino, and that was a cool race. There's no really themed races in this so far. Well, I can't, like, so far of what I've seen, no theme. So everyone's on the same playing field. This really doesn't feel like Initial D at all. It's straight up toge racing, reminiscent of other like sports car series like Manga and Midnight and something else. It doesn't really. This series really does not have that Initial D feel that made it unique. But yeah, so, well, Garrett, yeah, I'm not. This series isn't for me. It's not cool. It's not cool, man. What else? Like, if you want me to talk about the characters, there's like two-bit Takumi character personality, which was a Kanata Takagiri. He's kind of like Takumi, but he's part British, so he says English words in between.
Right.
And I'm like,
This is
okay. And there's
yeah.
also some weird subplot about how he's into why he came to Japan. But do you want me to talk about it, because it doesn't really seem that important so far?
No, just let people watch it
It's
later.
yeah, Yeah, he came here for a purpose, but it wasn't MF Ghost. But apparently, it's because he was trained by Takumi. He entered MF Ghost. So, I mean, that's not good. I don't think that's good writing at all. If you're gonna have if you're gonna have like a racing series, at least have the person like racing or be connected to racing in some way. But his main plot point of coming to Japan has nothing to do with racing at all. So it's not that good. Then what is it? I guess the main heroine is voiced by Ayane Sakura. Yes. What's her name? Ren Sayonji, because you know what's the what's that guy? What Kanata is a he's a foreign exchange student, so he has to live with his foreign exchange family, and I guess that's what Ren Sayonji is. She's some chick voiced by Ayane Sakura who gets into
Mhm.
a weird who gets into a weird relation like this love relationship with him for
Like
the
the
sake
good
of having a
wording, yeah.
love relationship, and
Mhm.
she's also secretly one of the race queens of MF Ghost. I don't know how this works into it, but like to be fair, the author of Initial D really sucked at writing relationships. 'Cause you remember that? You remember that chick from Takumi's first love interest in Initial D? Whatever happened to her? That's right. No one cares.
Mhm.
Like she was
Yeah, I mean, she's
there.
not a car, so
She was there. She did things.
Not a car sexual.
This author's main writing of male to female relationships, isn't good. So I don't really care. She's just
Mhm.
there, I guess.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
the only good female character is the one voiced by Serizawa Yu,
mhm.
which is what's her name? Yes, some chick, but she's part of the top 15 racers, so that makes her way more important than than the main heroine herself, which sucks because you can draw a parallel of this chick to what is it, Blue Impact Blue, right? Do you remember Impact
Mhm.
Blue? It's the two racing chicks.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I guess she's the equivalent to them. What really sucked is Impact Blue did nothing to this series after like they nothing happened to them in Initial D, and that sucks. So I hope this new chick who's actually good at racing does something impactful in the series,
Mhm.
but I don't.
Yeah.
Considering this author's writing style with women, I don't think anything will happen.
Hey, you
But
never
yeah,
know. It is
I mean, I
2023, but
hope.
yeah.
You want to talk? Oh,
Uh,
you want to bring up 2023?
no,
You want to
that's
bring up 2023 because there's this one
the
character that's
current
really
year.
this one character that's really jank in MF Ghost that I saw on the wiki that kind of weird. It's kind of not okay, dude. I'll just say this guy has a 17-year-old fetish.
Oh, okay, okay,
What?
okay.
He only likes 17-year-olds. If you turn 18, you're out.
Damn, bro, that's
Okay.
crazy.
Don't worry, he's 21, so it's okay.
No, I don't think that's
Yeah, I don't think that
yeah.
counts. I think that's still
Yeah.
don't worry, man, it doesn't count. He wrote Rurouni Kenshin, all right?
Yeah.
Here,
So,
let me pull up the wiki article for you. There you go.
I get, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah,
That's
where am I going with this?
any last words plus mouse score, I guess.
Jungle Fire is pretty good opening. Sung by
Mhm.
Move with There's How You. It yeah, it definitely hits the initial D opening notes for
Would
me.
you recommend this series to other former or I guess the former initial
So
D watchers?
as an Initial D fan who specifically like Initial D because of like how personal each each dogfight felt between the racers. From what I've seen so far of like first 4 episodes, I don't think we'll get that because it's gonna be like, oh, this person in this place is racing, is going to be dogfighting this person in this place, and then when they pass them, he's gonna be fighting another guy, like who's in front of him, or these people are gonna be fighting over here, like in these places. It definitely is. I definitely won't remember any of the other guys' faces at all from this series, so no, I don't think I can recommend people who like Initial D for like the personal dogfights, the 1v1s. It's not gonna be 1v1s, it's gonna be like 3v1s, 4v1s, or 1 versus 14. I don't know how math works. But yeah, MF Ghost is a disappointment to the series. It took away the what people love about Initial D, like the street racing, and just made it regular racing. I'm not feeling this one, Chief.
Would you rate it?
What am I gonna rate it? I like the Eurobeat. What's my average score? 7, right? I'll give it a 6. 6 out of 10.
Damn. That low.
I'm not even talking about like
Yeah, I mean that is damning.
I'm not even talking about how like the art style, because the art style's kind of jank, but hey man, it's the author's style. I'm not gonna dock points, but it's the initial D point two that we're not that initial D 2.0 it is not. And also small spoiler, I how dare you? It's supposed to be a sequel to Initial D, but the only ones that are prevalent is, oh hey, Takahashi Ryo. This is his new Project D now, and that's it. That's it, I guess. Cool. Hey, you remember that guy who did the famous Urohozaka jump against Takumi? Apparently he's a coach and he's also a part-time announcer for MF Ghost. So hey, you remember that guy? The crazy guy who did a jump, could have broken his suspension multiple times? Yeah, he's there. Sure, cool. You remember that guy? Yeah. It's trying to bank on Initial D nostalgia and not very good at it, man. Because you're not even showing us the cool characters. How dare you not? How dare you bring up Takumi student but not show Takumi himself? But yeah, I'm just rambling on and on. I don't like MF Ghost. How dare you? He Kanata hasn't even shown us cool techniques yet. No gutter drifting, nothing. How dare you?